Sam Smith along with Tammy Blackburn back here once again at Middle Tennessee, where the Blue Raider fans had something to cheer about as they won the first of the best of 3 for the Sunbelt Conference Championship. And again, a well-earned victory and a lot of things going well. And Tammy, we've kind of demonstrated here. They blocked well on the line. They dug it well. And I tell you what, their kills have been very much on.
Yeah, it's been an all-around game. Offensively, they've been working the line very well. They've also been working the cross court. Now, defensively, they had their work cut out for them, Middle Tennessee, coming into this game because of the very well-balanced scoring attack on behalf of Western Kentucky. But it's all been about the blockers at the net for Middle Tennessee. The back row, the libero for Middle Tennessee, they've been shouting at each other, close the block, close the block. And that front line for Middle Tennessee has been doing just that, and that's what earned them Game 1 victory.
Western Kentucky, again, as Tammy pointed out, lost only 1 game in the entire conference to Middle. Now they've lost their 2nd game, but more importantly, what are they thinking about after losing this first game? I think you just got to say, hey, let's just dwell on what we do well.
Sam, that's a great point. Coach Hudson, I imagine, just said, okay, first of all, it's out of our system. Game 1 is gone. We can't get it back. Let's just go back to doing what we know how to do. As you see, congratulations, by the way, to Coach Hudson. You see the graphic there, Coach of the Year. But that's how he coaches. He is Coach of the Year because he's able to bring his team back to reality and say, all right, forget about home court advantage. This is a tournament time. You know what's on the line. And I suspect you'll see a little bit of a different Western Kentucky come out. I do think, though, that Western Kentucky did some great things offensively in the first game. I think they just need to step it up defensively.
Actually, Coach Hudson, using a little television terminology, said, hey, that's up in cyberspace somewhere. Let's just forget that one and go on with Game 2. Well, it is a first game win by Middle Tennessee. Western Kentucky will be serving to start Game 2. And back to do the honors is Allie Christian, a sophomore from Louisville, another one of those Sacred Heart products. And again, a young lady that in high school was the Gatorade Kentucky Player of the Year. You can see already 28 service aces this season for Western Kentucky.
Some of her teammates, Julia No, Megan Argabright, all went to Sacred Heart Academy. And Julia No, who's on Western Kentucky, had an older sister who used to be the setter for Western Kentucky. Her name was Sarah. They all hail from Sacred Heart Academy, a little Louisville mecca.
I would say probably that Coach Hudson spends a little time over in Louisville looking around. And, of course, a quick trip to Sacred Heart Academy, of course, doesn't hurt.
He picked up the last year. He picked up the Freshman of the Year, and Megan Argabright, who earned that honor. We haven't seen much of Megan, though. In the first game, she's been a little quiet. I think she needs to get a little bit more involved. There's Megan, number 11, on the sideline. She'll check in real soon. She won't be on the sideline very long. Get the rotation in there offensively.
Cannot control that deep serve. Point Western. This time she sets it up right at the net. And it'll be interference into the net and a point going the other way. And Middle now will get the 1-1 score.
And a good look at the infraction here. A little interference there by, I believe that was number 12, the sophomore, Jenna Gideon.
Trying to knock that one straight down, but again, went over the net. That's a no-no. Good dig in the back line. There's that back set. So well done by Blotch. She does that very well. And, you know, the one thing we talked about, she's so unselfish. She doesn't really have a favorite.
Yeah, no, and it's great to have those options. I mean, she really does have a solid front line. There's no favorites, as you say, Sam. And, you know, maybe when one of those players is having a bad day, she's got options. And that's a huge tool to have a deep bench.
Little miscommunication that time on the zone that time as they went back to make this save. Scott thought somebody else had it behind her.
I think she was setting a pick. See, this is volleyball, not basketball. She was looking for an on-ball pick there.
Western Kentucky now comes with a little of their own emotion for a 4-1 advantage. And Mount Peck on the sideline. Matt, young man who unfortunately lost his mom and dad in the same year, and says that this Middle Tennessee team is such a family to him through all of the hardship he's had to go through.
You talk about the people around this campus and the administrators that talk about Matt Peck and how happy they are to have him here. He is only in his 2nd year. This was supposed to be a rebuilding year for Middle Tennessee University, and it's been everything but that. They are right there in the mix of things, and it's thanks to this guy right here. What an outstanding coach. Yeah. He is so generous to his players, and like you said, this is his family. He doesn't have a family of his own. You know, he's not married with kids, so he says he loves coming to practice every day because this is what he has.
Megan Carter with a serve from Middle. CT puts it up around the net. Added in that time by Wagner. Good save by Blotch. Wagner will dump it in deep. Scott trying that Strong cross court. This time touched, lost out of bounds by Carter. And a point for Western Kentucky. They lead it by the score of 5-2.
Real textbook offense. Great relaxation defensively by Western Kentucky on that last point, but then a good pass from the back row, a great set by Bloch to Gideon with a lot of power down the middle. Good 1-2-3 punch.
Summerall has to set that one a little deeper than she wanted to, but it pays dividends. And a good job by Lyra. Well, that was awfully deep for a set, and she made a good move on that ball. Montestorolo back to do the serving. We talked to Victoria at the press conference, and 27 service aces so far this year. She plays on emotion, sometimes gets down on herself. She says, I have to play through that.
Yeah, the coach has said, and Denise Gideon, the SID for Middle Tennessee, she said, you know, you can see it. Every time she misses a ball, she really takes it personally, and that's a good quality to have, but sometimes you got to back the player out and say, hey, let's keep it in perspective. You're not going to get to everything. Wagner
with a nice kill, 365 kills so far this season.
Remember, only last season, 34 kills, so fast improvement for Jay Wu.
And of course, has already done a good job as she has got a total of 18 kills already in this finals.
And a wraparound again. Again, that C play from the middle to the right-hand side. And Scott, a little shake of the hand saying, not in my house.
Ball is out. From Middle Tennessee, point for Western, 7-4.
And look at this, Matt Peck, the head coach, Middle Tennessee, taking off his jacket.
Yeah, he had T-shirts on this morning. I said, boy, you cleaned up nice.
Karen Bloch hitting percentage, 35%.
And the ball's in play if it touches the net and gets over. Good save that time by Argabright. A good block on that front line and nicely done by Sunbelt. Another block. And it's going to be in, and Middle Tennessee gets another point. That time Asbury, the freshman from right here in Murfreesboro, up to block that one away.
How about the block assist for Lyra and Asbury? And this game has been all about Asbury and Lyra at the front line, including Ashley Adams, number 7. We ought to give her a little bit of credit at the front line. But services has also been critical too. 18 service aces for Megan Summerall this season.
Bloch sets it right up the middle for Argabright. Good save on the back line by Montestorolo. And a kill up the far sideline, and there is Lyra. You know, we watched her in the 2 games, the quarters and the semis, and she also is a young lady that's growing in her confidence right now.
She's 28 years old. She comes from Brazil. She's got a lot of emotion. She wears her heart on her sleeves and her emotions on her sleeves, and she's got a lot of experience, played club volleyball for several years, but this Middle Tennessee team extremely happy to have her.
Lyra with a block as she roofed it, and it's a point for Middle.
511 kills this season, leading the team. Unbelievable number. She's got a lot of power. She also is an excellent server. She and Megan Carter, the top 2 servers for Middle Tennessee.
Serve is long that time by Summerall. I thought it was interesting on Lyra. She's had double-figure kills in every game this year. That was a marvelous stat.
All 31 matches, Sam.
My.
Again, earning first-team Sunbelt Conference honors.
There you see the numbers. Middle won the first one, 30-21. Summerall has to just dump it in on the 3rd hit. Back set again. CT dumps it in. Summerall sets it. Another dump in by Adams. Bloch just dumps it in the middle. There's that great save by Alicia. And over the net, Asby. Oh, this is a great rally. And a block. But it's out. Adams blocked it, and it's out. Western gets the point.
And Asbury with a great save. That was the 3rd hit. She had to get that ball over the net. She reaches out with her healthy hand. She's got a bandage wrapped on her left hand. She reaches out with her right hand and just gently taps it and rolls over the net.
Julian Doe on the serve. There's another great kill on the far side again by Toller, and lady from Sussex, Wisconsin. No, she didn't come down here with any cheeseheads. She came down to enjoy herself, and boy, is she having a time right now as Middle Tennessee's forced into taking a timeout.
I wouldn't want to be in the back row or anywhere near a ball when it comes off of CT's hands. That ball's coming off fast and furiously. She is a power hitter, the senior for this Western Kentucky team. Oh, I had a chance to really break down her game last night. What I was most proud of is, and admirable, is that she can take off from the back row. She can take off right in front of the net. She's got good hops, but more importantly, she puts the ball in play where she wants to with a ton of power behind it. So she's virtually, when she gets her hand on it, she's virtually impossible to dig.
You know, Tammy, we're not only watching volleyball, but of course we're heading down the stretch in football. Coming up on many of these same Sunbelt Conference networks from ESPN+. A doubleheader, University of Louisiana Lafayette and Monroe. I'll be in Monroe for that game, 3 o'clock Eastern, and then that'll be followed at 7. Middle Tennessee playing at Troy. Lafayette, Monroe, and Arkansas State all vying for a championship and a trip to the New Orleans Bowl, who played in Lafayette this year. Middle Tennessee, along with Lightning, watching on here today. And Western Kentucky will serve. This is Julie No, a freshman out of Louisville. High school state champions, 2-time AAU national champions. And a lot of these young ladies have gotten a lot of experience from the AAU, Tim.
Well, a lot of them play club volleyball. She was a 3-time All-American at the club level. Named state tournament title honoree.
First referee, Wanda Stahl. Whistles for the serve, and we're underway. 10-7 score. Western with the lead. Second game of the best of 3. And there's another great play at the net again, and that's by Ashley Adams, the freshman, as she gets another block. And got a solo on that one.
Big
Actually,
blocks.
Ashley was there as well.
Oh, you bet. But the wall at the net has been incredible for Middle Tennessee. Made it very difficult for these very good offensive players, Western Kentucky.
Deep set that time for Toller. Too long. Middle point, and they close the gap to 1.
And these fans and Coach Hudson thought that that was a tip, asking the up official, wasn't that a tip?
And a serve by Lyra. One of the uncharacteristic things about her serve will give the point to Western. And it'll be a serve again as they come with a shot here from Allie Kristen. 11-9.
Sorry, Sam. Coach Hudson told us yesterday this is going to be a battle. We have a huge battle on our hands tomorrow with Middle Tennessee. And there, you know that he knows what he's in for right now as Middle Tennessee takes game 1.
Gideon and Toller with a block, but out. Middle Tennessee will serve. Gets a service to the near side. Out. It'll go Middle Tennessee as they try for a kill up the near line. By Wagner is out. And we are in an 11-11 game now. Good heady play that time by Wagner. She saw the block coming from Asbury and Adams, as we knew. She just dumped it into him. When you're up in the air, it's hard to handle it.
Well, that's one of the things that they've been talking about in the huddles, and that is you've got to go around the blocks. You can't go through the blocks. Obviously, Middle Tennessee has proven that they can't go through. Western Kentucky's got to make some of those adjustments. So that was a very heads-up play by Wagner, as you mentioned, to get that ball up and over, playing the line, too.
Western Kentucky, by the way, only 17% on their kill percentage so far. 26% for Middle Tennessee. Therein lies one of the reasons this game is so tight, and Middle won the first game. Watch, what a great cross-court set that was for Wagner. You know, she's not only one of those that can set it within about a 10 or 15. That was completely across court. 13-12, Western. Serve again by Gagnon. Summerall sets it up. And another hard kill up that far side. And they're getting all kinds of action as Montestorolo will go back to serve with a game tied at 13. And we were talking about the impact of the Sunbelt Conference volleyball. New Mexico State winning the last couple of years. They go to the WAC. They finished second behind Hawaii in the WAC this year to show you how many teams are having to play against. As that time a long shot by Lear is out. Western point.
Hoffmeyer to serve.
1 point lead by the Lady Hilltoppers as they are in their 5th consecutive finals. They won in 2002 to make a trip to the NCAA and would love to make another one. Middle in their first Sunbelt final. They're taking advantage of it right now to come back and tie it at 14. They, by the way, won the Ohio Valley Championship in '95. One of their best records here at Middle Tennessee. But It's been a long drought for them trying to get back to a final, and this is their first in the belt.
And this is a good way for them to do this, though, with the young team. They've got a lot of talent at a very young age, so their future is very, very bright. Matt Peck said, hey, in 2 years, we're going to be virtually unstoppable. And I would expect Middle Tennessee to be able to be more of a dominant team in this Eastern Division Sunbelt Conference.
Agabright puts one away to make it 15-14, and the ladies will take a rest, and we'll take a break. We're back with more from the belt in a moment. Well, Lightning said he wanted to come in and have a little different finish than they had a week ago Friday when Western wrapped up another Eastern Division title with their second consecutive win over Middle. And some of the fans said, yeah, we came here as well, as they've got the Raiders right now down by a point, 15-14 to Western Kentucky. And there is their tidal wave, as they call them. T-I-T-L-E, tidal wave. Nice little catchy thing. And I think they're my English teachers over somewhere.
I was going to say, I see you brought your family with you today, right. Sam.
Western serving. Up right. Limau with a dig. There's another good hard shot again by Monasterola. Finally, Lira gets it on the far side. Doesn't wait for the set and just puts it back in. Tie the game at 15. Well, Lira's got such a great. She actually is playing in her third position. She started as middle hitter, middle blocker, if you will. Then went from one side to the other, and she's very comfortable playing that left side and gets a block that time.
Rejection. Big. Wow. I mean, it's been about rejection for Middle Tennessee against Western Kentucky. These outside hitters and middle hitters for Western Kentucky usually very dominant at the net, but Middle Tennessee has done an excellent job of stepping up. Ashley Degnan on that last offensive play tweaked her ankle a little bit, came up limping, and she's such a critical player in that back row there. The libero for Western Kentucky.
Freshman of the year, Agabright puts another kill away. There's a good look at this young lady. Now, the Libra coming in, and that's been a big influence in ladies basketball, and the fact you keep such a good, strong defensive player in the back line for you.
Well, the nice thing is they can sub in and out freely, hence the name libero. And there she is right there. I think she's just going to take a little bit of a break. A player they like to call Pepe.
Another good shot by Lira. Boy, she's having a wonderful afternoon here, as now she's got 7 kills on 19 attacks. And there's another one. She puts that one away. And it's now a 17-16 lead by the Blue Raiders.
She makes it look so easy, Sam, from that outside. She's just kind of camping out in the corners, looking for the placement, looking for the gaps, and she does it so well.
Nice little block that time by Adams. Great save, but it's going to be wide by Summerall. It's out of bounds, and it'll belong to Western on the point. Ties it at 17.
And a big hit by Christian at the net, and a wonderful dig by Hoffmeyer.
And a nice dink.
Yeah, that was a perfect play by Christian. We saw Jesse Wagner do that earlier, and that's what we talked about, making those adjustments against those big blockers. I think Western Kentucky going to have to use more of those to be able to kind of shoot the middle. You see the middle of the floor opening up a little bit for Western Kentucky. That is, the defense is spreading out on the Middle Tennessee State side, because Western Kentucky typically playing the lines and crossing court with their attacks.
Blotch with a nice dig to set it up. Now finally dumps it in. Adams plays it. Summerall with a back set that time. There's a shot dug off the in line. At the net. Dumped in by Adams. Blotch sets it near side. The big left-hander Wagner. Summerall makes one save, and it's saved by Monasterola. What a rally. At the net. Can they get another save? Lira gets it to the far side, and a miss by Monasterola. But what a rally that time, and a big point by Western.
And it's this kind of volleyball that is garnering the Sunbelt Conference more and more respect from the NCAA and the counterpoints. This is the type of volleyball that people out in the nation want to see. This is tough-fought battles, great volleys, these kids going after it. Back row, front row attacks. This gym is loving it, and it's exciting to be a part of this.
Well, they seesaw back and forth. They've settled nothing, 18-all. Dagna, now here comes the substitution in for Middle Tennessee. And it'll be Hannah Randolph, a young lady who played her high school volleyball right here at Blackman High School in Murfreesboro. Will check into the game for the first time. Or at least she's trying to come in on the far side. Marcia Goodwin, who's the second referee, and Matt Peck discussing across the way the substitution coming in.
All they're doing right now is making sure Matt Peck and the second official, they're making sure that the rotation is correct and that nobody gets out of line. Rotation is very, very important. The officials got to be heads up on that. And Western Kentucky University is doing everything they possibly can to not only help themselves but help their conference as well. They've done what they had to possibly do this year to get in that large bid. If they don't win today, they may not get in. But you see, last season they lost to Stanford. This season, George Washington, a big win, 3-0. Georgia Tech, 3-0, 2004 final ranking, 32nd. Again, a nice vote of confidence around the nation on behalf of Western Kentucky University. Coach Hudson saying there's nothing more we can do. We've just got to continue to build and build and build, and hopefully we're going to get there. I think the NCAA is going to have a tougher decision, Sam, in the next few years about only sending one team from this conference.
There's a shot cross court that time by CT out. Middle will win it. By the way, Middle's RPI rankings now is 5-0, 50. And they've got a 19-18 lead over Western, and that bench is quite happy as Matt Peck scribbling notes, making sure the substitution is exactly the way he wants them on the rotation.
He's a copious note taker. Last night we saw him, the glasses on, the glasses off, scribbling. He's very in tune with what's going on and consistently making adjustments.
Point Middle, you see them taking a 2-point lead now. Ima'u will serve once again, looking for her third point off the serve. Lott sets it for Wagner. Ima'u can't save that one. And again, that was interesting at the press conference. Is there anything you cannot dig? And she never did say no, but she did indicate, well, I'll try anything.
She's so humble. And, you know, that's the thing about these players. They're so unselfish in Middle Tennessee. They get along so well. But you also know Western Kentucky, give credit to them. These are two teams that have a lot of unselfish players and so much talent. Ashley Adams getting involved, a little bit more involved here in Game 2 than she was in Game 1. Boy, she was big last night.
Adams would rotate into the back line. That's the substitution coming in. For her is number 1 is Megan Carter with the serve. Watch to the sideline. Wagner, good block along the net that time again. Nice little dink inside by Gideon.
That's what I was talking about with making those adjustments. The defense is spread open. Now, look at, you got 3 players in the front line and nobody covering the middle of the floor from Middle Tennessee. So great recognition by Western Kentucky.
Doesn't come by just being lucky. You've got to have drills, and certainly both these teams, and watching them work out and getting themselves ready. Have done just that.
And Degnan showing big numbers, second in the Sunbelt in hitting percentage with just over 40%.
I'd tell you what, I go to that C play as many times as I could, as that time another big long one that time by Scott. Young lady from Bakersfield, California, having a big day.
And actually, that C play works very well for both teams. We like to see CT on that C play and Megan Argabright on that C play for Western Kentucky, but also Scott in a violation on Montestorolo.
Foot fault that time, and point going to Western. It is now a 22-21 Middle Tennessee lead. By the way, Scott is now 8 for 10, 80%, and her kills here today. She's had quite a day already.
That's it. What a pass.
Lyra. They can't get the block along the front line, and Lyra puts away another, her 8th of the day. And it's a 23-21 lead by Middle. You know, I don't believe in the first 2 games we saw them that Middle really attacked the net as well as they're doing today. Trying to catch him off guard, does not. And a point on the net that time by Allie Kristen. Only 5'8" out of Sacred Heart, comes up on the front line and does a good job.
Coach Hudson saying that Allie Christian is really the glue of our team. She's a nice little strong back row player, and she knows what her team needs from her. She knows how to get it done. She only had 10 attempts last night, but she doesn't care. She's so much of a team player that when she needs to get involved, she will. When she needs to dish it off, she will as well.
Good block along the front line by CT. Trying to dump it in that time as Summerall does it again. Good block again by Kristen. Good dig by Dagnan. Again, there you see that little soft underbelly of the defense, as Tammy's been pointing out, and they exploit it again.
They're 4 for 4 with that play. And I think what's going to happen now is you're going to see that middle have to be covered a little bit more. You see Summerall make a nice effort going down to the floor to try to get that ball, but she hits it out of bounds.
23 all now as Western comes clawing back. Ima'u cannot clean that one up, and This is uncharacteristic of her, and now timeout's going to be taken by Middle Tennessee as they've got to quieten everything down for a moment.
Lamau usually picking that pass up right off the serve and gives her shoulder a little bit of a shrug there. Coach Hudson for Western Kentucky talking to CT. Crystal Tyler, one of his senior outside hitters.
They've won the Eastern Division 5 consecutive years. He, by the way, is all-time the winner. Wins at Western Kentucky, comes in with 244 wins, and he's had himself quite a run. As I mentioned, already 9 winning seasons in his 11th year.
Became the all-time winningest coach back in 2002 against a very tough New Mexico State team. That happened to be the championship title match, and that was match win number 188 for him. And he comes into today's game 244 wins. So a guy that came back to Western Kentucky University to install new hard work ethic and has done a great job of that.
Western Kentucky with a 1-point lead. You see Middle won the first of the games, 30-21, to take a 1-0 advantage. Again, we play the best of 3. If it goes to the 4th game, it is a 30-point game. If we go to a 5th game, it's the 1st to 15, but still, each of the games have to be won by 2. A very nervous Matt Peck. Chance to talk to both the coaches. We'll share their comments with you during our intermission tonight, coming up after this game. And a double hit by Middle Tennessee. Point Western. 25-23. And this would tighten the screws down with a 1-1 advantage for neither team if the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers can win here. There's the player of the year getting ready as she eyes the competition. It's in.
And a big hit down the middle from Lear. And initially the call went to Middle Tennessee, but now they've changed it. They're going to give the point to Western Kentucky.
Well, the first ref, Wanda Stahl, said nope. After the linesman had called it in, Tim King had called it in. And Wanda waved it off. Western with the point and a 26-23 lead. Monasterola setting it up. Good dig by Dagnan. Toller. Summerall sets it up far side. That'll be out. And Western Kentucky now goes to a 27-23 lead as Lyra misses on the back line.
I'll tell you, Hoffmeyer and Dagnan for the back row, Western Kentucky has been very critical. They've been making some very wise decisions at letting some of those attacks go long, picking up a few extra points, creeping their way into game 2, going for a victory.
Oh, what a magnificent set for Asbury. And the young freshman from Murfreesboro wastes no time in putting that one away.
A big hit. Look at the hops, and then look at the little celebration. You don't think this freshman has a little flair to her? Check out that reaction.
You said she had a little swagger in her walk, too.
She does. Last night she walked into this alumni memorial gym, and boy, she had a little swagger to her.
Watch with the back set. Agrobright hits it wide. Point Middle Tennessee. They claw back as they're down by 2. By the way, Middle is playing without one of their top players. Lindsay Cisco broke her finger in practice. She had 201 kills and 108 blocks, so they've really lost a big player there, but they're playing on.
And the important point in that is that's why Ashley Asbury's picked up so much playing time. She's filling in for Cisco and doing a darn good job.
Another good save by Middle. And off the block, it's going to be Crystal Toller gets the point, 28-25. Western Kentucky 2 points away from tying this matchup at 1 game apiece.
I walked into this gym this morning and I said, I have a funny feeling this match is going to go to 5 games. It's just the nature of these 2 teams and the competitive edge that they both have. They also both know what's at stake. Again, an automatic berth to the NCAA tournament. They are both hungry.
Lyra puts that one away. By the way, you walked into the gym a little swagger yourself this morning.
Did I really?
Yes, you did.
I don't usually have that swagger.
Lyra back to serve for Middle. 28-26. Summerall sets it up. There is Davis. Block saved on by Hoffmeyer. Wagner trying to put it away and does. Make that Gideon. Gina Gideon puts it away as she gets another big point on her 6th kill of the day.
Middle Tennessee unable to close out the block, and Gideon with a big hit. She splits the defense and gets it through. A big point for the sophomore there to pick up for Western Kentucky. Game point here.
Well, Kristen looking to see if she can get an ace here. She does not. Summerall sets it up. Adams dumps. Good pick up that time. Again by Kristen, and a put away, and they point, and the game. 30-26. Western Kentucky comes up to tie this one at 1 game apiece. And as you pointed out, you thought it might be one of those elongated matches today. Right now they have settled nothing. The red and the blue have battled on 1 game apiece so far. We'll take a brief intermission. The commissioner of the Sunbelt, Wright Waters, will join us. We'll visit with the 2 coaches and more. Don't go far. This one's far from being over in Murfreesboro.